The 1979 Dublin summit exposed the stunned European leaders to the full force of the Thatcher negotiating style.
It's that £1,000 million on which we started to negotiate because we want the greater part back. But it's not asking the community for money, it is asking the community to have our own money back.
Consensus has reared its head. You must have a consensus. It's a word, again, you used not to use when I first came in politics. We had convictions. And we tried to persuade people that our convictions were the right ones. And it's no good having convictions unless you have the will to translate those convictions into action. I often think when you're going for consensus, so often it means that those who believe, as I believe, tend to give in to the left wing, and you steadily move further and further left.
We have the same rules and regulations as the EU, and our EU withdrawal bill will ensure they are carried over into our domestic law at the moment we leave the EU.
In case you missed it, May just said that she was going to incorporate all current European Union laws and regulations that are in force in Britain into our withdrawal bill, meaning it will be as if we have never left. This is truly criminal. What would Thatcher say about May?
And it's no good having convictions unless you have the will to translate those convictions into action.
We don't need to look far to see an example of a party without convictions.
What I've called the third wave, New Labour, New Britain. Socialism, for me, was never about nationalisation or the power of the state.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
I believe in doing what his lordship tells me. I'm an optimist. I believe in progress.
I'm New Labour, so I don't believe in anything.
Really, she's looking to European leaders in Salzburg. This is the tail wagging the dog.
And what is the point in trying to get elected to Parliament only to hand over your sterling and to hand over the powers of this House to Europe?
Their decision to leave the institution of the European Union was an expression of that desire, a statement about how they want their democracy to work.
No, it was not a statement, Prime Minister May. It's a legally binding contract, and you are obligated to fulfill it. Prime Minister May, in this speech, is acknowledging that she will intentionally ignore the will of the British people. Don't believe me? Think I'm too extreme? Listen to this.
And I want to incorporate our agreement fully into UK law.
No, no, no.
And make sure the UK courts can refer directly to it.
But working more closely together does not require power to be centralised in Brussels or decisions to be taken by an appointed bureaucracy.
And when there is uncertainty around underlying EU law, I want the UK courts to be able to take into account the judgments of the European Court of Justice.
For the sake of agreeing, for the sake of being little Sir Echo and saying me too.
And I know businesses in particular would welcome the certainty this would provide.
And voters appreciate the certainty that their vote provides.
The framework for this strictly time-limited period would be the existing structure of EU rules and regulations.
Translation? I don't give a flying toss what the voters decided or how much of the electorate turned out to participate.
In fact, she made it pretty clear that she doesn't really want to leave at all.
We have not successfully rolled back the frontiers of the state in Britain, only to see them reimposed at a European level, with a European superstate exercising a new dominance from Brussels. What matters in politics, as in the rest of life, isn't who you are or where you come from, but what you believe. Somewhere ahead lies greatness for our country again.
Conservatives must remember that it is convictions, not consensus, that win elections. Now more than ever, the wisdom of Margaret Thatcher should be our guiding light as we embark upon a journey to reclaim British independence. So join us Thursday, October 24th, to celebrate Thatcher's famous speech to the College of Europe in Bruges, Belgium. Sometimes looking back is the best way to move forward.